that we have a still point inside, even when the world is feels very rocky, to say the least. So let's close the eyes and cut out the distractions, which is a really great idea these days, to come inside ourselves and remind ourselves that no matter what, we have a still point and we can come back to our breath. Our skeletons, our joints hold us, and we'll try to keep them in alignment today, those bones and joints, because if they're aligned and we can keep them in comfort, then we're stronger moving forward. So come into the breath, and in your mind's eye, go to your tailbone, tucked in between the sits bones, which are your anchor to the earth in this pose. If you're kneeling, you can still connect to those sits bone, even if you're on a chair. Anything I say today is a suggestion, so if you find something more comfortable, you can take that pose. If you can't hear me very well, you can unmute yourself and let me know that you're having trouble, and I'll try to speak up. In your mind's eye, let's take ourselves back to that spine. Let's move on up those amazing vertebrae up towards the middle back, up towards the collar, the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades just glide into place towards the sacrum. And then we're coming up towards the juncture with our cervical spine. The shoulders begin to roll away from the ears, and then you can imagine that nice curve in the neck coming up towards the skull. The amazing skull with the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. So align the base of the skull with the bottom of the spine, the sacrum. Feeling yourself rooted and rising up strong. You can hear perhaps sounds around you, sounds way in the distance, and then sounds closer to your surroundings, and then more immediate sounds around you. And then finally, you will come to the sound of your breath. Begin to hear your own breath. So let the conscious breath that we take together be an audible breath inside your head. You can hear it as you sip it through the nostrils and then out the mouth through pursed lips, if you prefer that, or through the nostrils. In our practice today, I just want to honor, our RBG, the Chief Justice Ginsburg, who passed. At the same time, I want to honor our ancestors, people who came before us, and just keeping that sense of support behind you. So that symbolically is in the back of the body. So as you breathe, just be aware of the back body, and as we practice today, an awareness of those who came before us to support us as we take a step forward. So we've got our backs covered, and we have people behind us who have come before us. So they're in us, and we're going to carry this forward. Continue this path of breath that you can hear in your head, the wave action. And as you do this, imagine the sound Om. You can say it to yourself, or you can say it in your mind. The universal sound of vibration throughout the earth, from the past, present, future, the sound Om. Beautiful. Begin to flutter the eyes open. And then bring your gaze up and your chin to a nice, comfortable horizon. And before we go to all fours, we'll take a neck stretch, making sure we respect that skull, that brain, the whirling thoughts. Let's try to bring that to some therapeutic action here. Take the fingertips beside you on the mat, pressing through those fingertips. Feel the tendrils of the roots, imagining roots going into the earth from your fingertips, adding stability. We'll take a left turn with the chin over the left shoulder. No force, just looking over the shoulder, and then coming back through center with our breath, and then looking over to the right, and then coming back to center, gazing forward, and then we're going to drop the chin between the collarbones. You can feel that lovely stretch of the back of the neck. So again, the back body getting support here for all the work it does. Looking at the heart space. Inhale, float the head up, and we'll look up to the skies, inviting something, a wish, a positive wish that you have to come down upon us. And then look forward after that slight back bend. Inhale through that entire torso. Exhale, sigh it out. And then we'll transition to all fours. So take your blanket and cushion your knees and your shins. And we're going to begin, we started with our head, but we're going to respect our feet too and take a little stretching through the feet. First, I want to place us correctly here. So take the wrists below the shoulders and the knees below the hips and fan out those fingertips and feel that support of your hands. You want to wrap your armpits, so as if you were squeezing down on your favorite magazine under each armpit. So you feel that engagement of all that shoulders. You stabilize your shoulders, which are very naturally flexible, but we want to stabilize them here. So let's squeeze down on the armpits, reach the crown of the head towards something outside your walls. So something you can imagine in that direction and reach the crown of the head there, allowing more space between your vertebrae. And then you want a natural curve in the lower back. Beautiful. So this is just a nice neutral spine. And we're going to stretch our feet out. So we're going to curl the right toes under and lengthen out long through the right leg. Straighten the right leg. And you'll feel your toes curl under you. So let's just say back and forth, go back and forth, reach the heel towards the back of the room and then towards the front. So back and forth. And then let's reach the heel back together so you feel that stretch through the hamstrings. And then come forward slightly with your torso, allowing your toe to point. So we're going to alternate between flexing, reaching the heel back, and then pointing the toe. And that action of the body supporting that rolling of the foot. So we're flexion and then pointing through the right foot. All those opening along the back of the leg, getting a little reminder to open here. Draw the right knee towards the floor, and then we'll straighten out the left leg, curl those toes under, and reach the heel back and forth. And then you want to reach the heel back to a flex, and then point the left toes, top of the foot comes to the floor, and then alternate back and forth, respecting our amazing feet. Great, and now draw the left knee forward, back to all fours, and we'll curl the right toes under again and straighten out the right leg. And now I want you to pay attention to how even your pelvis can be here. So make sure those bikini bones are even. And then you're gonna lift your right leg up, balancing through your hands and your left shin. Nice and long, reaching the crown of the head. If this works out for you, you can also lift the left arm. Inhale, fill the body with air. Exhale, come back down to earth. And then let's lift the left leg, straighten the left leg, and then lift up. Noticing, all right, is your pelvis even? Can you balance your favorite beverage on your sacrum and have it be not spilling? Take the right arm next to the ear if that's possible for you, reaching long. Inhale, fill the body up. Exhale, come back down to earth. And now I want you to use your breath to float on up on the other side, right leg, left arm. The exhale brings you down. And then you take your left leg, right arm. Inhaling, exhaling. So allowing that inhale to support you as you come up, keeping your torso stable. And then the exhale brings you down. Your pace will follow your own breath. Our basics of yoga, which is our breath is our guide. We always can turn back to that when things are less stable. Great stability there. So come back to all fours. And then we'll make sure we give our spine some love, and we're going to take our cat-cow. So remember, there's 24 mobile parts of your spine. Let's visit some new part of the spine today in your mind's eye. So curl the tailbone towards the floor. Navel goes towards the ceiling as we arch the whole back up towards the ceiling. So you're going to do that C curve in the lower back, and then you're going to reach the rest of the back up. So let's see how arched you can get, maybe areas that you haven't before. You can drop the head gently towards the hands, crown of the head down. And then exhale, tailbone comes towards the ceiling, navel towards the floor, shoulder blades slightly come together, and then you can look up into cow position. As you inhale, tuck the tailbone again towards the floor, arch up. We're talking about your own rhythm here again. So as you come up, inhale, and as you come back into cow, exhale. Bring fluidity and comfort to those areas of the spine that are ignored, that don't get to flex. Maybe you've done a lot of rounding of the spine today, working on your computer this morning or today. So let's get in there and give it some alternate movement. And slowly come back to a neutral spine, and then you can go side to side. So we're taking our right ear towards the right hip, and then the alternate left ear toward left hip. Feeling the side bodies lengthen and stretch out through the rib cage. Great. And the idea here is just fluidity. So adding fluidity, even if you wanted to move around more crazy directions, do that. Great, and then let's just sway the hips in a U direction. So we'll take the hips over to the right, and then back towards the heels, and then to the left. So we're just making a U shape with the hips to get into our hip flexors and open up those connective tissues, some of those fascia that are over those large muscles. Back and forth. And we'll do one lunge from this position as well. So come back to a neutral spine. And we're going to take the right leg forward, right knee towards right hand, and then bring, you can help your right foot up inside the right hand. So we're going to be in a low lunge. And this is going to get into the psoas, the longer muscles that will give you some space there as well. So let's come into that low lunge. Check in with your hips. See if they're like jogging one direction or another, and feel that connection of the feet and the back shin. Take the hands to the hips and come on up to vertical. Beautiful. So pressing through the left foot, the top of the left foot, and the left shin will protect the left knee from jamming into the floor. So take the hands to the hips. Notice if they're even. Your tailbone wants to drop down. Your lower ribs tuck in as the heart grows taller and reaches upward and outward, feeling like as if you could see that light shining out from the heart. Okay, so now you already feel a lengthening on the left side. Let's take the hands next to the ears, so arms long towards the ceiling. Just reaching up through the arms and pressing through that back foot. Maybe you feel your quad stretch, longer muscles stretching towards the sky. And then we're going to drop the right hand next to the right hip here. And now we're going to lean over towards the right with the left fingertips reaching over the head, left arm gently over the head. Length to the left side body. Inhale back up, both arms, and then swan dive your arms back down around that left foot. Draw the right knee back so you're in all fours again. Nice and stable. And then inhale your left knee forward, left foot next to the left hand. And let's feel that stability. You can take your fingertips to the earth, the fingertips, foot, front foot, back leg. So shin and top of the foot. Inhale, let's hinge at the hips, come on up. Notice maybe your left hip wants to hike up a little bit, drop that hip. So we're going to align and make sure that our hip, femur bone is in that hip socket. Press through the right foot, the top of the right foot. Feel that engagement all along the right side. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. And let's check that alignment again. Tailbone dropping down, rib cage, lower ribs tucked in, heart shining forward, shoulders rolling away from the ears. Inhale, exhale, drop the left hand towards the left hip. And then lean on over to the left, feeling the whole right side open up as you press through both feet. You'll feel a sense of like a fabric stretching here along the side body. And then come on back up. And then swan dive down around the left foot and draw the knee back. Great job. Now we'll come back to a seated position and getting into some neck turn, neck work, as well as our upper back. Sit up on that edge of the blanket, your choice, kneeling or cross-legged. Alrighty, so let's do a further neck work. I can sit in the middle of my lotus there. Okay, and then we'll take our fingertips to the side as before, nice and tall. Inhale, feel the space, feel yourself grow about a ½ inch taller. And then exhale, we're going to take the right ear towards the right shoulder. This is a softening, no force, just a softening. On your inhale, let's see if you can imagine your left ear lifting towards the clouds. And then exhaling, maybe there's a little release there as you press through the left fingertips, engaging your left trapezius muscles. And then let's see, even if you open up your left palm to the sky, we'll open that up a little bit more along the collarbone. So open up that left palm and then turn that back around, fingertips down. Take your right hand, give yourself a little lift here to help yourself back up to vertical. And then we'll take it to the left side, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, maybe the right ear goes a little towards those clouds up in the sky, and then exhale, release. Press through the right fingertips. Feel that engagement along the right side. And then see if you can turn that right palm up towards the sky. You'll feel that in the shoulder socket. And then face that back down. Take the left hand to left ear. Help yourself back up to vertical. And now let's open up the arms out to the side. So like T arms. And then let's open the palms forward. So we're doing a slight back bend with this opening. We're giving ourselves a hug because we need a hug every day. Everybody ought to hug somebody every day. That's a song. Maybe somebody out there knows it. Imagine a hand behind your heart, helping you open up that heart space even wider. The hands can come behind you. And then as you exhale, let's round the spine behind you and cross the right arm over left. Just give yourself a hug. And then inhale big, open up again. Exhale, we'll reverse the hands, so left over right. Self-hug, so necessary these days. Every day. Okay, now let's take the elbows out to the side and the fingertips together so we're kind of looking like blades here. Nice strong arms. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And we're going to use those strong rhomboid muscles in between the shoulder blades to move those elbows behind us. Okay, so not just flinging the arms, but using those support muscles to have motion and gliding through the arm bone in the socket, the shoulder socket. Great, and now come back to the blades, just move the fingertips together. And we're just gonna take a slight twist to the right, rib cage, neck, and then the gaze over behind you, looking towards that back body, coming back to the center, and then turn to the left. Rib cage, shoulders, neck, head. Coming back to center. And then I want to do active prayer. So this is prayer position in front of the heart, in front of the sternum. And we're going to press the hands together, again, stabilizing those shoulders. So the shoulders can be a very unstable environment, but we can stabilize them by engaging all the support muscles. So pressing through those hands, something wakes up, right? Well, now we're gonna massage the joints and the nerves. So fingers come up towards the nose and then down towards the earth. So up and then down. Just keeping the elbows stable, but move the hands up and down. This is good for the typing activities, kind of good therapy to counteract some of that overactivity. Great. And now just for fun, for those of you with, again, more typing issues, we'll take the index and the thumb together. So like this, and then we're gonna flip the hands over and bring those to the eyes like Batman mask. And then the elbows will come up to the side, out to the side, and then flip them around again. So flip the hands over, and then flip them up to the eyes, and then back and forth. Keep going, giving your wrists a break. And feel free to do this in front of a mirror anytime, just for a good time. There you go. Excellent, and shake out the hands. And let's not forget our feet. So we're gonna take the soles of the feet together. If you have a block, that's fine. You can put that in between your feet. And we're getting into our hips and our feet at the same time. Let's press the feet together into the block. And then notice the hips muscles engage. And then release, and maybe the knees go out to the side a little more. Actually remove the block for a moment, and we'll just look at our amazing feet, and we can give us massage with the thumbs along the arch of the foot. And that's kind of the spine of the foot, right? So let's give those, and it actually corresponds in some acupressure, right, Huck? That you can correspond some of these points to your spine. So it would help with some back pain and things like that. You can even take your toes and flex them and then point them with your hands. I know we did this on Tuesday, and after class, I know I was walking a lot more comfortably. It felt so good. Great. Now let's take that block back and just give a little extra squeeze there with the feet, and then feel the hips, and then drop the knees out maybe a little more. If you check in, I had to check in with my lower back, take the hands to the lower back. It's probably starting to round. So see if you can sit up on the edge of that blanket a little further, or take your feet out a little further in cobbler's pose. Take the hands to the shins or even the ankles. The idea here is that we're going to hinge from the hips, and then keeping the crown of the head tall, inhale, and then exhale, just lean forward just a little bit. You don't have to go forward, but if you'd like to really talk your hips into opening up gently, then you can come forward a little more. Allow your breath to be your guide. If the breath starts to become unstable, then just back off and don't push yourself. Tend to push ourselves too hard, I think, especially when things get tense in the world and stuff, and we forget to be nice to ourselves, so we don't have to push too hard. And then float that lovely torso back up to vertical. Take the hands outside the knees and help your knees back into alignment there. And then you can make your way up to standing however you like. We're going to do some fun stability work standing up. So move your blankets aside and your props aside, and you'll want some room at the top of the mat and the back of the mat for some movement. All right, so great. Adjusting there. I think I'm good. I think you can see everything there. Cool. So let's take a nice solid mountain pose. You can start at the back of your mat, or if you need to adjust the mat now, that's fine. Or you can use the floor. It doesn't have to be mat based. You can free ourselves and step off the mat. What we're going to do is remind ourselves about the stable tower of our bodies. And we're going to do forward motion. So as we take a step forward, I just want us to remember stepping forward, we got to step forward, but we can do it with strength. So let's move forward, think about what's behind us, but move forward with strength. So let's come to a mountain pose just to make sure we're stable to begin with. And we're going to stand through both feet. Make a beautiful footprint on the ground. Keep them about hip width apart. Imagine that you're making a footprint in the sand. Every toe is out, reaching out to make this gorgeous print. And then you're going to feel the energy coming up from the arches of the feet through the inner thighs, reaching upward as the feet ground you and keep you stable. Take your hands to your hips, and then take your hands to your glutes, to the top of the glutes. And notice if you squeeze them immediately, like really hard, 100%, back off to about 25%. So you're stable there and you feel that engagement. Then hands back to the hips. Feel it that the tailbone is reaching down. So again, actually take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your lower back. And just notice that curve. Again, remind yourself of the most amazing natural curve that supports the spine in the back. Then also the tailbone reaching down. So we've got a nice counter action there. And then let's take the hands to the side of the body. Open them up to the side, open the palms up. And as you do this, you'll feel the heart shine forward and the collarbones broaden. And then you'll keep the collarbones broad, bring the palms back towards the body. So you keep that openness, but then your palms are facing down towards the body. Shoulders away from the ears, face relaxed, reach the crown of the head up. So we're super strong here. And if someone came to destabilize us, we have it totally solid. Okay, and now we're going to take a step forward with the right foot. So just walk forward with your right foot. And notice as you bring that left foot forward with that transition towards standing towards the front of the mat, you might see that your hip, your right hip wants to go up or down. Let's see if you can keep that stable towards that transition, the left coming forward, and then bring the knee up, bent knee in front of you on the left side. Keep that tower strong on the right side. Now step back with the left foot and then bring the feet together, back to mountain. Let's step forward with the left foot. And let's see, is your left tower staying strong as you bring the right leg forward and bend the knee in front of you. Notice again which side wants to just kind of take a little nap while you step forward, but let's try to activate everything to support that movement. And this doesn't mean gripping. I just want to make sure it's not gripping anything. The pelvic floor, diaphragm, throat, all support and in place and solid. Take a right foot forward again. And this time we're going to do a leg lift with the right left knee and keep that bent, and we're going to kick the leg out straight. So the left leg's out straight, and notice as you come out straight, do things want to destabilize? Check in again. Keep it stable. And then bend the knee, step back, the left foot back, right foot back. Step forward with the left. And of course, follow your breath too. And then bend the right knee. And we've got it in front of us. And now we're going to straighten that leg, flexing the foot. Stand tall, and then bend the knee again, stepping back. Okay. Inhale, exhale, step the right forward again. And again, take your time so you notice the support on the right. And then we're going to bend that left knee again in front of us. And we're going to reach out, straighten the leg, but point the toe. And we're going to paw the ground. So just along the ground, bring the left foot along the ground behind you. And then bend the knee and bring it forward again. All the while keeping the right side nice and stable. Activate all of those points we talked about to stay strong. Excellent. So now step back with the left and then come to mountain pose. Inhale strong, nice and big, long exhale. Let's step forward with the left foot. And you've got it, you guessed it right. Right knee comes forward, bent knee, and then reach out, point the right toes, and we'll take those nice ball of the foot along the floor and the toes behind us. Pawing it. My teacher calls this like horse paw, or like an animal pawing the ground in the pasture. Okay, again, feeling that strength along the left side. And then finally reach the right leg strong behind you and step back. Now we've got a more movement-based, another movement-based, let me just check my notes that I'm going right. Yeah, okay, so now we're gonna do compass steps. So this is going to be stepping forward and back. So maybe you wanna step a little bit forward, take your right foot in front of you, and then let's bring the left knee up. And this time let go of the hands and begin to sit back a little bit on the right, with both hips, but you're going to bend the right knee. So you're coming up with your bird wings. Okay, and then straighten the right leg and then step back with the left and back with the right, and the right this time comes behind you, and we do the same pose. So we're gonna lift the arms up, float the arms up, bend the right knee slightly over the toes, bring the left knee up. And then we're gonna step the left foot forward, back to mountain pose. Stand strong, and we're gonna take the right leg out to the side. So just a little bit wider than hip width, not much wider, because we're gonna come into a really strong chair pose here. So take your prayer hands together like we were doing earlier, press them together, sit back on an imaginary chair, watching the alignment of the knees over the toes. And you don't have to go too far, or if you wanna go low, that's great. Come back up, and then bring the right foot towards the left. Step forward with the left. The right knee comes up, and then you bend the left knee, sit back slightly, watch the tracking of that knee over the toes, okay? If there's any instability, don't go so low. And then come back, reach the right leg back, check in with those hips, and then step back with the left foot. And then the right knee comes up, fly those arms up, and then come back down, step forward with the right foot, left foot together, mountain pose. And now we're gonna step to the side with the left foot. And then we're gonna take the prayer position and squat back, sit back, chair, come on up, and bring the left foot to meet the right. So I know that was kind of a lot to take in, yeah? So we'll do it one more time, because this is really good strength building. And as you're doing it, keep your awareness on the hips and their stability. Step forward with the right and make this your dance, whatever you want to do. Lift up, sit back, but do watch the knee alignment. Left leg comes back, right leg comes back. Lift the left knee here. Step forward, mountain pose. Right knee goes out to the side, right leg goes out to the side. Sit back in chair pose, prayer position. Come back up. Gracefully come back to mountain pose. Step forward with the left. Right knee comes up, bend slightly, fly up. Come back, straighten the left leg, step back with the right, back with the left. Same thing here. Come up with the right knee, fly up, grasshoppers, and then step forward with the right, mountain pose. Step to the left to the side, sit down on that chair, come back up, and step together. Those are called compass steps. So you can practice them and then, get faster. That's kind of fun too. One more with me here to remind ourselves of our inner strength. You can shake the legs out if you want. Again, be very careful about knee alignment here. If anything is uncomfortable, just stay in the place that you're comfortable. Let's step the right foot forward. And as we bring our knee up as before, you're gonna stand strong through that right tower, and the left knee is gonna come up. And now we're gonna turn the left knee out to the side, only as far as your hips allow. And you can kickstand your foot down at the bottom, like with your left heel on your right ankle. This is perfectly fine. Or you can stay on the side of your shin, or further up for tree pose. We're gonna take our palms together at the heart. Inhale, drop that tailbone, low ribs in, heart shining forward, tree. Great, and now step back with the left, and we'll do it on the right side. So we'll left side. We'll step forward with the left, right knee up, turn that knee out to the side, place the foot wherever you'd like on the side of the left foot, and then prayer position. Tree pose. Trees, stable yet flexible. And then step the right foot back, and we'll do another version of tree. Step the right foot forward, keeping that stable. Left knee in front and then over. And then we'll take the hands above the head, swaying tree. So we're going to go side to side, swaying tree. And then step the left leg back and both feet, and then the left foot forward, right knee up, out to the side, and then we'll come into our swaying tree. And if you happen to fall during this swaying tree, then you're a falling tree, and that's fine. Like right there. Find those points at which you start to falter, and then engage those strong points there. Reach back with that right leg, transition to the other side. One more test of our balance here. Step forward with the right, and then we're going to come into tree as before, just gently taking that knee and hip to the side. And now take the hands in prayer position and try to close one eye and then the other eye, maybe both eyes, and really feel yourself, if you might, turn into a falling tree or really solid. Either way, it's an excellent test of the core balance. Okay, let that go. Step back, left foot forward, and right knee up and then to the side, settling the foot, and feel the energy between both sides of the body. So we're tapping into our center point here. Close one eye, close the other, maybe close both. Pressing through that center point will keep you in alignment here. Is it all stacking up strongly? And then let go, reach back with the right foot, come back to mountain and shake that out. Just a reminder of the things we get to work on, but how strongly we can just keep our awareness as we move through the world. So let's get down to the floor again through a squat. So we'll take our nice mountain pose, turn the toes out slightly. You might want to stand a little wider. Again, our lovely prayer position. Take the knees over the middle two toes as you sit, the sits bones towards the floor. If this is available for you, come down into a squat. And you're going to have your knees at your triceps and press them both into each other, and you'll notice more space in the spine. More space between the vertebrae and the crown of the head reaching up tall. Inhale all the way to the root of the body and exhale. Excellent. Great. And now I'm going to give you a little restorative moment here before we do some other poses. Take your blanket, and if you can roll the blanket up at your neck, the curve of your neck, that works out nicely. So I'm going to roll it up a little bit at the neck point and just rest my head on the rest of this blanket here like that. And I'm going to bend both knees. If you have your block handy, and I guess I didn't say you needed a strap, but if you happen to have it, this is good for the pose. Take the soles of the feet to the floor, the knees bent. We're just going to spend a few moments in a restorative pose since we were just really active, and just to let that settle a little bit. And we're going to take the block between the thighs. So just holding that block between the thighs, separating them out. You can also take your strap and tie the strap around, or buckle the strap around. I like to just tie it, it's faster. And I just give a little tie there. I take my feet out a little bit wider than hip width so that the knees are towards each other. And that strap just reminds the knees and the legs that they don't have to work so hard. So we can take those knees toward each other, support the neck underneath you, and then roll the shoulders underneath you. So shimmy them under so that the heart gets to have that space and the rib cage opens up. So we're going to close the eyes, and all of that flurry of movement, just kind of noticing as you close the eyes, coming back to your breath and noticing what movement is happening in the body. Like, is there a flurry of movement? Is the breath changed? Close the eyes and just allow the legs to take a little break here. The sacrum is nicely imprinted on the mat, and you have a nice curve in your lower back lifting off the mat. The rib cage can rest. The shoulders can melt towards the earth. And in this restorative position, you have nowhere to go and nothing to do. So we are just a human being, not a human doing. Allow the palms to open up, the fingers relax. The eyes even relax here, and the ears. Coming back to that audible breath inside your head, you can hear that wave action. Being able to be active and strong, and yet at the same time, you can restore it very quickly, to restore stability, to restore a center point and a sense of core within. Let's continue to follow the path of breath. Noticing that the actions we took may have created a kind of a wave action on top of the breath, but underneath there is that ocean of the breath and that depth and that constant. Bring your awareness back now out of this restorative pose, and we'll come back to some more movement. You can undo the strap if that's been there. Take the block out from the thighs. And we'll take our right knee towards the chest and just hug the knee. Maybe turn ankle in one direction and then the other. Take the right knee over the left thigh. And then take the right hand to the right thigh and just press against the thigh and press the thigh into the hand. Since we used our support of the hips standing up, let's give our hips a little support here and take the left thigh towards the face. You can reach for the thigh. Figure 4. Making sure your feet stay active, supporting your knees. Take that left foot back to the floor, and then unwind the right leg in, have the left knee towards the face, give it a hug, and then take the left ankle over the right thigh. Take the left hand to the left thigh, press into the thigh, and the thigh into the hand. let go, and then see if you can reach for that right back of the right thigh. Right foot comes off the floor, both feet pressing into imaginary surface. This pose can be very good if you have any sciatic pain. This is can be very supportive as long as there are not too many complications, but it's a really good piriformis stretch. As that sacrum, you feel it on the ground, feel it as your nice stable point. Release the right thigh, bring the right foot back to the floor, unwind the left leg, and then we're going to roll over onto the right side. Take a nice supportive twist. You can keep that nice cushion blanket roll for your neck as you bring the palms together. And let's take our thighs 90 degrees to the body, and the shins 90 degrees to the thighs. And of course, our sacrum and our pelvis is perpendicular to the earth. So we've got lots of ways to relate the body's parts to each other, as well as our relationship to the earth here. Take the palms together, and you're going to slide your left fingertips across the right arm, hand to the heart, left elbow to the sky. And now you can feel as you start to turn towards the left, your rib cage will turn, shoulders, the heart space, and then maybe the gaze turns over that left, towards the left elbow. You can take your left hand to your rib cage or open up the hand all the way over to your left. So your arms are T arms. Check in with your knees. Have they started to separate? Let's see if we can marry the knees together. Melting, a sense of gravity helping you out here, helping the physical body just take a release. Press the right elbow into the earth and see if you can help yourself twist a little bit more. And then we'll close that left arm towards the right, like our favorite book. And then roll over onto the other side. So we'll again align those thighs and shins and pelvis, all those nice geometric angles. And then take our palms together, nice long arms. Slide the right fingers on the left arm, hand to your amazing heart, elbow to the sky. Turn the rib cage to the right, the shoulders, the sternum, the elbow, right elbow. You can look over to your right, or just take the hand to the rib cage. Or T arms, looking over your right arm. Take the left elbow into the earth and see if you can get a little further in the stretch. As you do so, make sure you check in with those knees. They'll probably try to separate out. Let's marry them together. That keeps the pelvis nice and stable. Nice Therapeutics twist here. Always good to finish the practice with a twist. So we'll take our right arm towards the left, closing that book, and then gently rolling onto your back for our resting pose, where we get to synthesize everything we've done and allow the body to absorb it all. Bring the legs out long on the mat. Cushion your head with that blanket. Take your hands to your mat. So grab your mat on the sides and pull away from you towards the bottom of the mat. And you'll notice that your shoulders will easily roll up towards the top of the mat. So you can shimmy them underneath you, opening up the heart, more capacity for the breath. Close the eyes, cut out the distractions. And let's come back to that audible breath. Let's come back to a nice alignment of our skeleton and joints all aligned on the mat. So you've got your skull supported, the curve of the neck, the middle, the top, the spine, the middle. You feel the arch of the lower back. The skull and the sacrum are aligned. The legs out long. No need to flex the feet or point them, just allow them to fall open. The palms open up to the sky, a sense of receiving, calling out whatever you'd like to fall into your hands. And as always, coming into the breath. Perhaps you hear, back to our audibility, you can hear sounds in the far distance, in the just outside the walls, if you have them around you, distance, and then inside the walls, in the room, and then inside, finally, you hear your breath. In your, either out loud or in the quiet of your mind, focusing on the sound of Om, Om, and just repeating that to bring that vibration in with your breath from outward in the world. A calming vibration that's always there, matching with our breath. No matter what else is destabilized, we are connected through our breath. And through all the beings everywhere. May all those beings be happy and free. And may our thoughts and actions and words contribute to the happiness and freedom of those beings. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bringing your awareness back into the room. Bend the knees, bring the knees together, and then roll over onto the right side where you take one big inhale and exhale before using your hands to help you up to a seated position. Take the hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra, prayer position. We honor those who've come before us and walking bravely forward. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.